up? It is I, Callie with a K, that diagnosed mom, not to be confused with the diagnosed mom, so I'm sure I'm not the only one. This is going to be the second episode that I will be recording and posting on YouTube, so for you people listening, you can't see, but I done did my makeup today, and I tried a little extra, and I'm okay with it. It's not great, it's not perfect, but I like it. I'm a fan. I'm here for it. And for you people watching me, I know I have all these spots. I'm working on it. Don't really know how to cover them fully. Use the green stuff, use the foundation, use concealer, use all that fun stuff. But, I'm at home. This was a me day. This was a do it for me. Speaking of, a little bit of a recap again. I have sent a message and called my doctor now because my flare-ups are increasing in pain, and it's to the point where, what was it, like last Thursday? I don't even know if I don't remember when the last one was done, but last Thursday, it happened during me making lunch, and I fell to the floor. Well, not fell, but like I curled up in a ball on the floor on the ground in the kitchen and was like that for probably half hour, 45 minutes while I waited for my mother-in-law to get here. And my children saw that, and our daughter is so caring, and she just came over and laid next to me, and I hate that she saw it. Like, I hate it so much, and I'm not going to get emotional about it right now because that's not what this episode is about, but I struggle bust. She saw me crying and was like, "Oh, Mom, are you sad?" Like, and how do you tell? Like, she knows that I haven't been feeling good, so at night she's like, "Do you need to go lay down and rest?" This child is 3. She should not be thinking even remotely about any of that. She should not know or see me struggle like that. That should not be on her conscience, worry. Like, she should not have to think about that. So trying real hard to get stuff figured out, but I am supposed to wait. Today is February 6th. I'm supposed to wait legit a month from now, so March 6th, to get testing done, colonoscopy and endoscopy, because they found some other things. Got to do more stool samples. But I cannot, that is not fair to me. That is not fair to my family. That is not fair to everyone around me that like is trying to help me. I cannot live like this. Like, I'm okay today because I have not eaten. I've had my probiotic gummy and my multivitamin gummy. That is like the substance I've had today other than liquid. I'm going to eat some yogurt in a bit, but like, I ate a popsicle, those popsicles that have like the fruit in them, yesterday for breakfast. That sounds really weird, but I ate it yesterday for breakfast because I just needed something in my tummy, and it hurt. It hurt my stomach, and then I could tell like it hurt going through, and I'm just like, because of the fruit, like any solid. So it's now down to any solid. I'm not even eating eggs right now because they started hurting really bad because I was eating them in larger quantities because they had been semi-okay before. Now it's just not even worth it. I'm taking all the meds I'm supposed to. She had prescribed a anti-anxiety one to help me sleep, which it did. I was only taking half of it, and it knocked me out, and I was getting nightmares in the beginning, but I think that's just because I haven't slept like in a deep sleep for a while. And so I was only taking half. I was supposed to move to a full after a week, but it was causing me like to have so much hunger, and I'm not like, this sounds bad, but I all my life have had to either be hungry and just not eat because I'm in pain, or be hungry but have a knot in my stomach and so not even like want to eat. And so I can get through hunger. I went like a week without eating because of the pain I was in, last flare up and this flare up. So I'm not saying that that's okay, but I'm also not saying that I have it really bad, but like, I personally know how to get through that. So when I was starting taking that med, the hunger control was gone. Like, I craved and was hungry like it was before, during, and after my period all the time. And I was not okay with that because it wouldn't go away. Like, I would eat and the hunger wouldn't go away. And she prescribed it with the hope that if I was afraid of eating, this would make me eat. But even if I'm afraid of eating, I was still eating, And because like it was just cause and effect. Like it wasn't about me being afraid to eat anymore. It's just cause and effect. I eat, I hurt. Anything I eat, I hurt. I'm gonna try fish tonight. We're gonna bake it, see how that goes. My kids won't be here till, I mean, they'll be here tomorrow night, so Wednesday night. But I have my infusion on Thursday, which is just, I'm just so confused. They're like, so I sent them a message. I'll start at the beginning, right? Where I was talking before. This is how my brain is. This is what happens. Not afraid to say it, do it, anything. So I sent a message explaining everything that was going on. And I was just like, is there any way I can, like, do you have a pain management thing that I can do? Because, like, I can't function. I'm supposed to, like, it was a big message. And they were just like, have you tried Tylenol? And I'm like, yes, I've tried Tylenol. And I'm basically taking it routinely now. And I've, like, then they're like, we don't really want to change anything or do anything for you until we get the test done. And I'm like, the tests are a month out. How do you expect me to do this for another month when I have 2 children who were fortunate enough to have help, but ultimately I'm supposed to be the one taking care of them. I want to be taking care of them. I miss my kids. Like they're getting used to me not being able to do things. Like they're not getting used to me not being around, but they're getting used to me being stuck in bed or not being able to play with them, not being able to get up, not being able to do things. I mean, I had to tell our daughter that it's little monsters, and like when I poop, then the monsters come out. And so now, anytime she knows that I'm pooping, I come out of the bathroom and she's like, "Did you get all the monsters out?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh," in her brain, she knows I pooped again, like earlier. So she's like, "You got them out twice?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I got the little monsters out twice, and my tummy's okay now." And she's like, "So are you all better?" And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, "I'm okay until I eat again, because then basically the food's the monsters." But I can't tell her that, and I don't want to tell her that. She doesn't need to worry about it. Moral of the story: today's Tuesday, so they went to my mom and dad's Monday morning. Stepdad. They're both dads. I don't. Dad R, Dad M. They went to my mom and Dad M. They went to my mom and Dad R's. Dad R's. Yesterday morning. Are gonna stay there till tomorrow morning. Meet up with mother-in-law for the day tomorrow. I don't know if they're coming here or if they're going there. I'm not sure. Or maybe they're staying with my... Actually, I don't think they're going to see mother-in-law until Thursday, because I have my infusion Thursday, and I think she's going to come here. Sorry, it's really gross. My nose has been running like crazy, and now our daughter has been mimicking, and she walks around, she goes... My husband was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "I'm making the noise that mama makes." Just like, oh. I hack loogies. I grew up on the farm. I'm used to farmer blowing, and if you don't know what that is, it's where you like hold one nostril and then you like blow the boogers out on the ground. Don't like use your hand or anything. If it's a good farmer blow, then it'll be mess free. It's kind of like a one wipe swipe, where if it's like a good awesome poop and it's gotten all out, you probably just have to wipe once and you're done. Sadly, rewipes are a thing in this household and my life, and I just need to get the bidet set up. That's beside the point. So yeah, children are like all taken care of for this week, and I feel so guilty for like being okay today and doing these things, but I wouldn't be able to not eat and be up enough to be with the kids. Like I've tried to take it slow and not do a lot of things, but like I still have just constant pain in my abdomen. Like it's not near as bad right now, and I just took some more I need to take some Tylenol now that I think of it. I had already taken some before, but it's just like, this ain't normal. I shouldn't have to do this. But they were worried that it was mental. Now they know that it's not. That Crohn's is out of remission. So they want to switch my med potentially, because that means the med's not working anymore, but they want me to still get my infusion of that med before the test, because they can't do anything until the test. And I'm just confused, and they're not getting back to me. And now I'm like recording this and my phone's in the bathroom charging, and they'll probably end up calling during that, but I don't I have no way of doing anything. I feel helpless, and I have to also schedule a psychiatry appointment and a therapy appointment because my therapist moved out of state, and so our insurance does not cover her now. And she said she would refer, but I'm not hearing back. I'm just not hearing back from anyone. I got my physical pre-op thing done, scheduled for next Wednesday. I'm just like, I don't know. I have no control over what's going on with my body other than choosing not to eat so that I can function. And that's bad. That's not good. And I know that. And that's why my kids aren't here, because I eat, it's bad pain, toilet time. I don't have tea time. I got toilet time. And it's like, I think last night I ended up being on the toilet for like 2 to 3 hours because it's just like, if I get up and have to run back, my booty hole needs a break. Okay? It's like, have you seen Ghoul's Trip? Have you seen Ghoul's Trip? No, have you seen Girls Trip? She talks about a booty hole where the sun don't shine. And believe it or not, things can happen to your booty hole. My booty hole bleeds because I have to wipe so much sometimes. And it's just like, you get to a point where you'd rather just sit there until it all passes through, because it's freaking painful when it's going. Like, so frustrating. Ugh. So yeah, I was on the toilet for like 3 hours last night, and I woke up with freaking like toilet rim marks on my butt and legs. Like, it was bad. But it's funny. I'm like, I should just dress up as a toilet seat for Halloween, and people be like, oh, where you always been at? Why are you never around? I'll be like, this is why. Look at me, toilet seat. This is where I'm at all the time. So today, that was a big old 12-minute random talk. I'm going to tell you about Crohn's disease. For one, it is an autoimmune disease. It is chronic inflammation in the digestive tract, and it can be anywhere from your mouth to your ass. Yeah, so I don't know if that's why I have acid reflux. I don't know if that's why I get ulcers. I don't know, I just feel like you have one, you pretty much have it all. I did find a lot of this information on the Mayo website. But over 500,000 Americans estimated to have Crohn's, or a type of IBD. So I guess it's also under the irritable bowel disease. I don't know what I was gonna say. I think I was gonna say like Iowa bowel disease. My doctor is Iowa digestive disease, so I wonder if, I don't know, but IBD is not strictly an Iowa thing, as you know. I'm sure most of you know it's not an Iowa thing. It's just irritable bowel disease, and then you got IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, which is underneath IBD, and apparently Crohn's might be underneath IBD, which makes sense. But yeah, it can be in one or multiple areas. I know a lot of people have it in like large intestine, small intestine, in the middle, colon. Like, you can have it in a bunch of different places, and it doesn't go away. That's a huge part. Is you can be in remission, but what remission means is that it's not showing any outward symptoms because the med has it regulated and under control, but at any point it can flip. So like for me, I've been on this medication. That was a real good snap. I don't know. There it is. For me, I've been on Remicade since I was 16, and it's all I've been on. And they add some meds every now and then. Like, I've had to take steroids if I've had a flare up and stuff like that. But like, it always showed that the medicine was still working for me. Well, now it's not anymore. And that's, it's been 10 years, so it can happen just like that. Gosh. Sorry, I'm done now. I'm gonna kind of read what I found, and then I'll tell my experience with it. Symptoms are gradual or sudden, but it's abdominal pain, severe diarrhea, fatigue, weight loss, malnutrition, fever, cramping, blood in stool, reduced appetite, pain or drainage near around the butthole, anus, inflammation of skin, eyes, joints, liver, or bowel. What did I write? It says, bile ducts, not DUCKS, DUCTS. Get your ducks right. Kidney stones, anemia, with kids, like if you're super young, it said that it could get delayed growth or sexual development, which I thought was kind of crazy. I had no idea, but I found all that on Mayo. And so for me, I have had but never put together, maybe some of these were because of my Crohn's, but I've had abdominal pain, severe diarrhea, fatigue, weight loss, malnutrition, cramping, reduced appetite. I've had the drainage near around my butthole. Inflammation. Apparently, there's inflammation in my joints that they found, so that was kind of crazy. Anemic. I get iron infusions. And my mom's got Crohn's, and she has had so many kidney stones, and they've been freaking wild. They've been like dinosaur bones, which I didn't know dinosaurs were a conspiracy. I mean, it makes total sense. But my husband and I were talking about it because we're going to do an episode tonight, and I just want to do a fun one because, like, he's never been on here. And so I just wrote up a bunch of questions, and that's what we were going to do. And conspiracy is one of them, and we were just talking about different ones, and he said dinosaurs, and I didn't know that was a conspiracy, but that's my naivety, because, like, just because there's bones, that doesn't mean, who am I to say? I'm not a scientist or person who knows anything about that. I'm only here to talk about buttholes and snarting, farting, sharting, vexing, and a bunch of other things, and then being a mom with 2 toddlers, being stay at home, all the things that I know because I've lived them. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for. Okay. It says when to see a doctor would be abdominal pain, LOL, blood and stool, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea longer than 2 weeks, unexplained weight loss, and fever. So, fun fact, apparently, well, not apparently, I've known this for a long time, but my normal has been vexing, and if you haven't listened to my Let's Talk About Shit episode, go listen to it. I don't think it's on YouTube, so it's just podcast, which is on YouTube, but it's not a video, is what I mean. Vexing is butthole explosion. It's just my nice little keyword where, like, if I'm somewhere with other people, as long as they know my lingo and I say, I gotta go Bex, they know I don't got a minute to spare. I'm out. I'm like freaking road runner. You can't see my legs. I'm gone. And then half the time I feel like I'm Coyote and I'm just like run so fast to get there and I'm just hanging off the cliff, right? And because you gotta take your pants off and then it's like, whoop. Yeah. I really need to look into dresses more because I think that'd be just way easier, just flap it up and squat. I'm going to be that person someday that has to take a shit in public. I'm terrified, and I know it's going to happen just because, like, it's going to be like a walking porta potty. Ugh. I will plan for that, though. My Bex on the go bag, on the go Bex bag, I think is what I actually called it. I like that name a lot better. Yeah, it's a thing. I have it. I'm gonna recreate it just for all of you, and I'll do it with a video, and I'll tell you what to put in it. But pretty much, like, abdominal pain is just normal. Nausea and vomiting, I was going through a lot, but that was because of my ulcers, and it is what it is. What it said on the website for, like, who's typically to get it, it would be, or why, it can be genetically, and it's usually before 30. It said that ethnicity white. I wrote it weird. So if you're white ethnicity, you have higher risk, and you have anti-inflammatory. You got Iowa bowel disease. You got anti-inflammatory meds can affect Crohn's. So like ibuprofen, Advil, not supposed to take it. I haven't taken it since I was like little. It like eats your stomach lining, so that's why Tylenol is all that I've ever taken. Smoking's a no-no, but tobacco not great for anybody, in my opinion. Other things it can do: bowel obstructions, ulcers, fistulas, anal fissure. I can't say this word, and it's not even just because today I can't talk. It's Fissure, right? So I want to say fissure, fissure, but it's not fissure, not Fisher, so it's like fissure. Okay, done with that. Moving on. I talked about it's malnutrition, and then what is that word? Oh, increase of blood clots and colon cancer. Yeah. Fun fact. I have multiple grandmas. Very fortunate for that. Multiple sets of grandparents. Very lucky. I grew up knowing my great grandma, and I have a great aunt. I'm just real fortunate in the family department. I could go through a whole tree. It's fucking wild, man. But my grandpa got diagnosed with colon cancer and had to go through surgery and like all that kind of stuff. And the colostoc. I can hear it in my head. Do you ever have words where you can hear people saying it in your head, but you cannot repeat that? The bag. Colostectomy bag. Okay, so the little bag so like you don't poop out your butthole, it goes in a bag and you gotta drain it and clean it, and it smells rag and is bad. He had that, and I need to talk to him about that, because eventually, if that's going to be a better way of living for me, I need to educate myself about it. Some people prefer it. I personally, at this point, have toddlers that jump on my stomach and jump on me. Not right now because they know better. I'm in like a no-go zone, right? There's that, hey, don't touch me there. That is my no-no square. I don't know if anyone else has ever heard that. That was like maybe after, when I was like 19, I think I first heard that. Maybe in high school. I don't really remember. I blocked out a lot of things unintentionally. But that's how I feel about my stomach, except it's like round. So it's like, hey, don't touch me there. That is my tummy hair. I do have tummy hair. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the bag, my grandpa. So yeah, I went to visit him in the hospital after his like surgery, and one of my family members just like goes up to me and is like, Calissa, you should know you have Crohn's disease, so you're probably way more likely to get colon cancer. And I'm just like, I think at this point I was like 17, maybe, and I'm just like, thank you. I appreciate that input so much. Thank you so much. And now it's like funny because of the person who said it, and like it just, that's the type of person they are. They don't mean it offensively, but at the time I'm like a kid that just got diagnosed with this disease who's trying to figure her shit out, literally. So it was a little crazy for me, if you know what I mean. I have a prompt. I don't know if you've noticed me looking down if you've been watching this video, but I have a prompt. That's why I also have no excuse for why I can't use my language words better, because maybe that's why though, because I am reading my notes instead of like taking my notes as notes to put sentences together. I'm just like, oh yeah, you thought ahead, you wrote it down, like you should read it. Nah, false. No, it's like note cards. I don't know if anyone else did this with like speeches or studying, but I could not like just write down little bits to remind me what to read. I had to like start sentences and then I could go. It's probably how my brain works. You just start me and I'm bullet taken off, right? It's like in Mario Kart when you get the bullet when you're in like 11th place, and then you like see like the first part of a sentence and you're like gone. Won't shut up for 23 minutes and 40 seconds. That's where I'm at right now. And if you listen to this through your ear holes only, and then you go and watch the video, I feel so bad for you. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do for you. Things that you can get, or like how they diagnose based off like what they look at: medical history, tests, obviously you got procedures, referral to specialists, colonoscopy, endoscopies, CAT scan, MRI, capsules. Oh, sorry. And then it's so my handwriting's not great, and this is the excuse I give. I heard it a long time ago because I have really messy handwriting, and when I was like in middle school and high school, all my friends that were girls had like great handwriting, and everyone was like, oh yeah, girls always have way better handwriting, while mine is over there looking like a fucking bunch of snakes got thrown into a sand pit and they're all just like squirming and trying to get out and shit. That's my handwriting. So I wrote cam, like a little cam pill, and it totally looks like cum, like cum. So I was like, cum pill balloon. What the fudge is that? No, it's cam pill balloon. So like, swallow the cam and it goes like all in there. I did that once. Pretty crazy, pretty cool. I have pictures. I'll post it on Instagram. Go follow me at that diagnosed mom. Also got a TikTok, but it's kind of weird for me. I think I prefer YouTube over TikTok. Like, I just feel less pressure, and that sounds really weird, posting like a short to YouTube. And I think it's probably because like TikTok, it's just like famous. Like, it's a thing. Not that YouTube's not, but I there's so many people that have up and become through TikTok. There's just, I put myself on some pressure, right? And there's some things that I think are funny that probably like people who haven't listened to the podcast don't know anything about. Like, I posted a video of me taking like a shot of buka. Did not know what buka was. Full disclaimer. I posted the video though, and so if you want to go see it, go see it. And I thought it was really funny because like the story behind it and everything, but it only got like 60 views, and so I was confused and maybe a little like, like, oh, don't post anymore. But that's just a me thing, right? I'm also having me things when it comes to my friends. I used to be very, very insecure in my friendships and my relationships and was a huge people pleaser, stressed out if my friends were upset and if I couldn't fix anything. So I've stepped off of that, right? Therapy, boundaries helped me. I'm getting back into that because my health is getting bad. When my health goes bad, my mental state isn't great. So like, I take every little thing as a problem, where before it would like, I would acknowledge that little brainwave of like, oh, they must be mad at me because they haven't answered yet. I would acknowledge that and be like, no, it's fine. And then it would be fine. And it would be fine. Now it's like, oh my God, they left me on red for 10 minutes. I must have said something awful. And my friend, my beautiful glasses, Mr. T, 3 big dogs friend, I love you so much, and you have been the best supporter, and I miss you. And I'm going to send this episode to you so you listen to it because I love you and I appreciate you. But yeah, she's had to constantly reassure me like the past like 2 weeks that she's not mad. She's just got a lot of shit going on. And I'm like, I feel that. I literally got a lot of shit going on. If you know what I mean. I've had to give 5 stool samples, and I think I mentioned it in the last one, maybe. I don't know for sure. Maybe I made a TikTok about it. See, this is my thing, right? But I went to go pick up the stool sample kit, and she was like, you have 5. And I was just like, that's the look I gave, right? And this lady, I feel so bad because she has no idea what I'm going on. Like, what's my life, what my poops are like, you know, that scale of like 1 to 7. Yeah, no, none of that. She's like, they just need to be the size of a grape. And I'm just like, bitch, I poop liquid. I don't poop no solids. I don't got no solid shits. Are you fracking me? I don't remember the last time I've had a solid shit. That's not great. I know that. It's not normal. It's just what I'm used to. I'd rather have vexing than pain. And right now I have both. And I have had some, like, not really rock hard poops, but like the long pickle. That's kind of a pickle, right? Pickle poops. Pickle spear poops, to be precise. Pickle spear poops. I'll never eat a pickle spear the same again. But now I want one, and I have some. But I will not eat them because it could cause me pain. Discipline. Anyway. Poop liquid, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I have to do another stool sample. Fun fact. I'm like, 5 isn't enough for you. It was at the point where I was just like drained, like, just draining it in there. For all you people that are just listening, I'm doing so many things with my body and you don't know because you're just hearing things. So, treatment options, medication, nutritional therapy, and it's going to affect your mental health. So you got to get that shit figured out. I did have it figured out, and then it all went to hell. So here I am. But I also wanted to explain what like autoimmune meant, because I think it's such a broad topic. Like, there's so many autoimmune deficiencies, diseases. Like, there's so many, and I have no idea. I only know about Crohn's. And I didn't really understand why it was an autoimmune disease when like it affects your gut, but it is, and it mistakenly attacks healthy cells and tissue. So like pretty much you're gonna get sick because your body doesn't know to fight off the bad stuff, and it just fights off all of it, or it fights all of it. um so yeah, that's why with vaccines, I understand and appreciate everyone's opinion and view on them. And I know that you know what's best to do for your body, just like I know what's best for my body. When I used to get the flu vaccine, I would be sick for at least a month, like a cold and fever and sometimes vomiting. It's just like 10 times worse. Stuff that sticks around for a week for you could stick around like 2 to 4 weeks for me. And that's not everyone with autoimmune diseases. That's just something that happened. And it happened to me like I was doing the regular flu vaccine for like my whole life. And then when I really started noticing it affecting my schoolwork and my life and socials and everything, that's when I was like, okay, let's take a break. And so the COVID vaccine has been kind of crazy for me because I was pregnant when the world shut down. March 2020 for me was when everything was impacted in my life, as far as like places closing, me not going anywhere, me finding out I was pregnant, so me really not going anywhere. But I got the vaccine for it, but they couldn't give me the third one, like a booster. There's like the first two and then the booster. So I didn't get the booster because I was towards the end of my pregnancy. And then they were like, well, we can give it to you after. I never got it. Judge me. That's okay. I understand. You have your reasons for being very serious about the vaccine, and I haven't gotten any of the new ones. I have no problem saying that because at this point I have too much already being a problem where like COVID isn't even a relative thought because my health problems have nothing going off of that. And they keep finding new strands and new vaccines for those strands, and I'm just like, I can't put that stuff in my body when I'm still trying to figure out all my other medical stuff now. Um, that's just a me thing, you know. I have family that are definitely on top of that, and I have like it do what you gotta do. And I understand that people think and that they think that they know what I need to do for myself and my body and my family, but at the end of the day, like, this isn't like, I don't know you, you don't know me, you don't know who I affect, and that things that affect me don't just affect me. I'm not placing judgment on you for feeling as though you have to take those vaccines or that you want to just stay up to date with them. I'm not. You do you. You do what's best for you. For me, I can't. I can't risk it. I don't want to risk it. Um, Oddly enough, I've been the healthiest one in our household when it comes to colds and shit. So karma, well, not even karma. What is the irony of that is that I just have all the other issues, you know. I'm just hoarding everything else. So colds and COVID, bleh, I don't freaking know. It's weird, and I'm okay with you having your opinion about that. I hope you respect mine. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Ugh, I don't know. It's also in women, found in women more often than men. Um, and if you have, like I said, one of the gut problems, you're bound to have another. I know ulcerative colitis and celiac, you know, all those fun ones. They can also be common with Crohn's. I don't know. Steroids is one of the meds that I mentioned earlier that you could take for like flare-ups. I took first round of steroids as like a teenager, my junior or senior year. I don't remember. Big old cheeks, like chipmunk freaking cheeks. I have pictures to prove that. Maybe I'll post those too. I don't see why not. But the next thing I have on my list to talk about is my Crohn story. So I've talked about a bunch of little bits here and there about it. This is going to kind of be a full thing. Don't have to listen to it. You can like cut it off right now if you want to, but it might give you a little bit more perspective and maybe it'll help. And I hope you know you're not alone. But what I think the first thing for me personally that I needed to get through my head was, if like anyone who has Crohn's disease is different. What they can eat is different. What affects them is different. Things they can do medically, way different. Like, it's not a all around easy, you have this, so we can do this, and this is what you can eat. No. Trial and error all the time. Also, I used to be able to eat like a bunch of things. Haven't been able to eat red meat, and I used to eat it all the time. Um, I haven't eaten it in 4 or 5 years now. I do miss a good bacon, and I liked that real unhealthy stuff, right? That fatty bacon. I love me some fatty bacon, and I do like me a good steak. I preferred it mooing. You can think I'm gross, that's fine. But I grew up, Dadar would literally do like 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other side, 30 seconds again, and then be done. Also, my cat might jump up on my lap. Hi. Okay. No. Okay. Yeah. So if it wasn't bloody, it wasn't ready. Or if it wasn't bloody, it was cooked too much, is what I mean. And I apologize if you're vegetarian, vegan, like anything like that. I grew up on a farm, well, land farm. We had donkey and horses, but like pig manure was a normal smell. I saw a bunch of cows. I ate cow. Um, but it was like we would like buy a cow from like one of our neighbors, and they would cut it up specifically for us. I don't know. I'm sorry that it. I'm not saying any of this to offend anyone. I'm not trying to say animal cruelty is okay. Like, no, I respect your beliefs. I grew up eating bloody steak and fatty bacon as a kid. You know, it's what I grew up with. Everyone's got different backgrounds, cultures, environments. I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, I can't eat any of that now. Gluten is triggered. Like, you know, they have the typical, hey, you should not eat these things, right? Gluten was one of them. Like, not a lot of dairy if you can help it. And then I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously there's other ones. Like, if you want to go typical Crohn's, like skin, seeds, nuts, anything that's hard to digest, you know. I now have my cat, so there's that. But it all began for me at age 9. Like I've said before, I had an ulcer due to stress, and I had endoscopy and colonoscopy very early on. I don't remember when my first colonoscopy was, but I'm sure I've had at least like 11 now. It's just what they got to do to figure it out. I got diagnosed with Crohn's at age 16, so I was a sophomore in high school. And this was also the same year that I broke my arm. So that was like a really hard time for me. I was involved in a lot of athletics and a lot of extracurricular activities aside. So like musicals, and like I just loved being a part of things. I also love acting. I think it's so fun. I just now started to realize though, like how hard it truly can be to be engrossed in a character and have a camera in your face. I feel like I would giggle because there'd be someone like right next to my face. I don't know if I could do it. I could do it as like a host. I would love to be a host. If any of these are like make it to someone that needs a host, I would host for you if you know, it was not a bad thing I was hosting. um but yeah, I was in volleyball, basketball, track, softball. I stopped doing softball like freshman year though, I think. So not that. Dance team, I was the mascot. Did a lot. The one thing I could keep doing was being mascot once, just because like my arm, I should probably not have started doing mascot as early as I did. Everything turned out great and fine, and my arm is great. Like he didn't even think I'd be able to like straighten it again. Also, I think I can straighten it more than this one. But yeah, I didn't even show that. I still have my plate. I made my now husband touch it the first time we had a date. It was like that should have been like my because we met on Tinder. That should have been my Tinder bio. Hi, my name's Callie. I'll let you touch my plate, my bionic arm plate that came out of my arm. That was in my arm, and I'm also gonna drink honey out of a bottle the first time I meet you because that's what I did. And I mean, it worked. Look at me now. I don't know if that says more about me or about him that we're married now, but yeah. Oh God, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. I also had to. So volleyball was my thing. Still is my thing. Still the one that I love. I would love to coach. I'd love to play. Give it to me. But sand volleyball is really fun too. So it was like really heartbreaking for me to not play volleyball, and then I had Crohn's on top of that. I also had to quit track due to my Crohn's, and that was just like shit because I used to love track. Oh, no, not for you. Sorry. My cat Brandy just wanted to say something. So if you heard her purr, she said hi. Track. Sorry. So I went to state my freshman and sophomore year, and then when Crohn's was really kicking my butt junior year, um, I told him that hey, like got diagnosed with this before season started, obviously, and I am unsure because like running causes inflammation and everything, and so it was just like not good for my body at the time. And I was like, but I want to give it a try because like I love running and I love track, and I was a people pleaser and didn't want to let anyone down and yada yada yada. I had a coach that was like, if you can run, you can be a four-year state qualifier or whatever. And I was like, that's not what I care about right now. I care about my health. Thanks though. That was the hardest practice I had ever done in my track career. Is high school career a career when it comes to sports? I don't know. But literally we ran so much and didn't just like jog, didn't have just like jogging. No, we had sprint things. We had escalation runs. We ran like probably a mile with sprints and stuff. Like hardest practice I've ever had. I don't even like it. I had a flare up on the track. I curled up in a ball on the side of the track. And I'm fortunate that I had people who weren't even like, I wasn't even that close to, care and like comfort me and thought it was bullshit that was the practice we would have when I have a problem. I have a disease that causes problems like that. So yeah, I stopped doing track. I had a lot of people tell me that I run just as much in volleyball as I do in track. False. Okay. I would run 400s in track. I remember multiple track meets where I ran 400s and not like in a mile. So like a set of pace and then you do it and you're done. No. This was like, my time was like a minute 4. And like, I think I ran the first one at a minute 4, the second one like a minute 6, third one maybe a minute 10. The last one, our team for the relay, was it a 4x4 probably? I'm so grateful I was last. I was shot, but our team got us like real ahead, and that was awesome. And I made sure they didn't catch us, but they almost caught us, and that was the hardest 4 I've ever ran. But I had just like gave it my all for 3 others, and I was gassed. And that means something different now. Gas. Like, oh, cool. It's fire, it's gas, it's lit. I think we have a problem when it comes to flames, people. I think we're a flameful arsenal lit society. I don't know. And I don't know what to do right now because my phone is going off because it's a timer and I don't know if I can pause this and then, play again. I'm going to try.